Okay, ako po si Bam Alegre, instructor, lecturer dito sa University of the East, and correspondent ng GMA News.
Sir, visit ko muna tayo dun sa mga kailangan natin ng
Ano kailangan yung English, Philippine? Ano kailangan yung...
video po. Kahit po paano naman po kayo na bumaan. Saan po kayo mag-work?
First question is, what are the tasks of a news producer?
I was a news producer before I was a news reporter from 2009 until 2012. As news producer, basically, I do everything that a reporter does except appear on cam. So I research the topic, I write it, I shoot it, I supervise the editing. I basically produce the entire segment, and then I let other reporters voice it.
Sir, dun po sa newsroom, sir, paano po siya nag-work? Dun po sa newsroom specifically, paano po siya yung step by step?
Well, usually in a week, meron kaming story conferences. Meron kaming executive producer, tapos meron kaming meeting. Usually at the end of usually at the start of the week, we discuss possible stories that we can do, yung mga trending stories, and then we may assignment. Tapos kung ano yung ma-assign sa amin, we start by researching first before about the topic, coordinating with people na may interview, yung mga shoot, coordinating namin lahat. Tapos and then okay na yun, kami na rin yung magsushoot nun. Puntahan namin yung mga interview, we shoot na may mga kailangan video, kukunan namin. Tapos nasa amin na rin yung direction ng art, ng parang treatment ng mismong segment, kung ano yung visual look niya, yung visual aspect niya, kami na magde-decide nun. And then pagbalik sa office, susulatin namin yung script nun. And then pag na-approve na, may reporter na mag-voice, tapos pagbalik sa amin, abantayan namin sa editing hanggang sa umere siya sa
Sir,
TV.
what kind of reporter are you? Kasi meron po kaming alam, yung mga reporter na may mga beat po. Kayo po, saan beat po kayo na?
Sa graveyard shift ako ngayon.
So, yung magkano po sa graveyard shift, kayo yung kung saan
Well, usually may time kami, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Tapos may assigned na areas. Usually ako sa Eastern ako. Sa Marikina, Mandaluyong, San Juan, hanggang Antipolo.
So, di po sa graveyard shift, anything that falls under dun sa time?
Anything na mga happy sa oras na yun sa area ko, sa akin. Pero pag may mga breaking coverage as walang tao sa ibang areas, pupuntahan din namin.
Next question na po, ano po yung mga stress or conflicts po na nakaka-affect po sa trabaho?
Unpredictable yung schedule always. Minsan may long hours, kailangan mag-extend. Dapat 6 a.m. tapos na ako, pero minsan maabot ako ng mga 2 p.m., 3 p.m. sa work. And it's always stressful kasi kailangan masinsin sa work. As reporter na to, even as producer, kailangan, has to be fair, has to be accurate dahil maraming nanonood. Yun yung stressful part kasi we have to double check always dahil pag mali yun at umere, it can cause misinformation, panic.
Sir, how do you deal with competition? Especially po kayo sa graveyard shift po kayo na paano po kayo nakikipag-deal sa exclusivity ng mga balita?
Well, I'm not into exclusives naman. Kung merong, usually, nagtutulungan din from other networks. Hindi naman ganun ka-adversarial yung relationship. Or I'm actually friends with my counterparts sa different networks. Pag may story, we inform each other para walang na pag-iiwanan. May mga exclusives lang kapag, kumbaga sa akin yung legwork. Kung may kumontak sa akin na ganito yung storya niya, ayun, exclusive ko na yun. Kasi ako naglakad nung storya na yun. O kaya nagro-roving kami, may natisod kami storya, usually, yun, exclusive na yun.
Sir, paano nakaka-affect sa career yung meron ng exclusiveness?
Well, there's a nice ring to it, but it's not everything kasi naman. Parang it's good if you have an exclusive. It means you have a deeper contact base, or you know more people, you're always there. Pero at the end, ang pinaka-importante pa rin ay yun nga yung basics ng journalism pa rin sa amin. It has to be fair and accurate all the time. Dahil, para exclusive ka nga, and if it's maraming errors sa facts or hindi patas yung pagkakagawa, hindi pa rin ganun kaganda yung exclusive. So, parang it's a cherry on top na lang kung exclusive siya. You have to fulfill the basics pa rin.
Sir, ano po yung standards ng GMA specifically sa paglalabas po ng balita? Kasi po may narinig po ako, meron pong tinatawag na two source,
Well, it's usually preferred na dalawa yung source sa isa storya. Pero in certain cases, we need the official sources. May cases na yun lang meron kami official sources, and then we double check. Kung ano yung sabihin ng mga officials, we double check sa mga kung may nakasaksi or merong kaanak. Kuwari sa amin sa crime, may mga namamatay, sabihin official stories ng laban. We double check that sa mga nakasaksi, totoo bang ganito? Kuwari merong mga relatives, totoo ba na adik yan? Hindi ba napagkamanan lang? So yun, always double check everything.
Para alam mo sir yung both sides of the stories. Next po, what are the other things that the news producer does?
Sometimes before I became a reporter, I also became a field producer at Ma'am Jessica Soho for State of the Nation with Jessica Soho. I would always accompany her kung meron siyang mga out-of-town assignments. So, bilang field producer, I do initial legwork, initial research do sa lugar, ano yung mga possible stories, sino yung mga possible na authorities na dapat kontakin, mga risk contacts, mga police na dapat kontakin. And, pero if you're with Ma'am Jessica, you don't actually need to do anything kasi ang bilis mag-work nun. She writes her scripts, she suggests topics. When you're in the field with her, you just have to watch and learn na lang din.
Isa rin po ba sa naging mentorship po si Ma'am Jessica sa film?
Yeah, my time as a producer doon sa SONA, State of the Nation, it helped me a lot dahil if I had a good script, I would hear from her. If I had a bad script, I would also know may mga comments, and her body of work speaks for itself. She doesn't have to preach or anything. You just need to follow her example. Yung mga what she did before, what she wrote before. You just need to. Sometimes we just backtrack on it. And yung example niya rin kasi she has never been tainted with any corruption accusations. She's always been upfront sa passion niya for journalism. So it was a good model to look up to.
Ano po itong feeling na yun po yung makakasama na sa ganung klaseng trabaho si Miss Jessica po? Nakaka-intimidate po?
Well, para siyang principal namin. It's very strict. Pero minsan kalog din siya. Minsan nagpapakain siya lalo pag Christmas or ano. Parang they say that you have to just work hard until your idols become your colleagues. There was a time na I was always starstruck na I'm colleagues with people who I usually watch. Pero now I consider them good friends, and I relish the opportunities. I try to give back to students when I can. I try to teach. I teach now, so whenever I learn, I always try to share it all the time.
Aside po kay Miss Jessica, sino po yung ibang nag-mentor?
Well, Howie Severino has always been an inspiration. Then I chose broadcast communication in college because of Eyewitness. And when I was doing my thesis, I interviewed him. He accommodated me, so I try to return the favor when students ask me. Tapos I also worked with Michael Fahatin. People know him as a YouTube icon. May mga mistakes siya noon. Pero he's actually very witty, and he knows how to find the angles in stories. He knows how to write funny stories, serious stories. So I learned from him too. Kiara David, I worked with her in the field before. She learned me many things about working in the field, finding interviewees in the field, talking to authority figures.
Sir, paano pag nagkaroon ng giving plan na wala na talagang story? Paano po ba yun nakakapag-close?
But in graveyard, kung walang storya, wala talaga. Nangyayari rin naman. May times naman na sobrang daming storya. So, it's ganun lang siya usually. Pero hindi naman,
Sir, obliged po ba kayong kunwari sa duty nyo, kailangan may isa lang yung
pag panghapon, may mga ina-assign kasi silang stories. May mga ina-assign silang stories, kaya yun, kailangan tapusin. Or kung di mo talaga matapos, indicate why. Kasi may mga unavailable resource persons. Pero usually daily ang output namin. Kasi lagi naman may nangyayari.
Sir, pero hindi naman lahat ng times nai-air na po yun, di ba?
May times na hindi nangyayari kapag puno yung pag puno yung newscast. Pero pag morning naman lagi nabibigyan ng time. We have an executive producer and program manager na gumagawa ng lineup ng newscasts kung ano yung available stories na meron.
So far po, sir, ano po yung pinaka-challenging na experience niyo?
Well, my memorable experiences was yun nga, yung fieldwork with Ma'am Jessica. Nagpunta kami sa Cagayan de Oro noong 2011. May bagyo noon, Sendong. Ma'am Jessica had to go home agad. Overnight lang siya, tapos umuwi na siya. Iniwan nila sa akin I was a producer, iniwan nila sa akin yung crew. They told me to produce. Okay, sige. Ano ba? Sige. Tapos okay lang ba yan? Iniwan sa akin yung news crew. So, they told me to make stories. Tapos ang sabi lang nila, i-bosses ko raw using my name. Pero hindi naman ako reporter. So, I did it. So, I made a few exclusives na sa Cagayan de Oro. Tapos pagbalik ko, they allowed me to voice my stories. Pero producer pa rin ako. I think it ran for around 3 months. Tapos afterwards, they told me na bawal na ako mag-voice kasi hindi ako reporter. Wala ako ng legal protection to reporters kung may nangyari sa storya. So they told me to stop voicing, and then they asked me if I wanted to be a reporter. So yun, and then that was first. Another memorable experience was 2013, Yolanda. I was there. I was there for 2 weeks after the storm. It was extra special because my relatives are from there. So wala kami matulugan, tapos inaalam ko pa kung buhay yung mga relatives ko. Thankfully, buhay sila lahat. And then we had to cover the destruction. I was in Ormoc. And then recently, I went to Scarborough Shoal for twice this year. The first attempt, we were chased by Chinese Coast Guard speedboats. And then I returned 2 weeks ago. I returned the first week of November. Ito lang. We were able to enter na. China was not blocking our fishermen.
Kahit pasok na lang po yun.
Alright?
Sir, nakaka-starstruck ka naman.
Hindi naman.
Ayun yung
Again.
Sir, ayun. Research nga po namin, nakasama po kayo sa top 10 cutest, hottest.
Wala na sila malagay. Pang 10 ako eh.
Oo, sir. Sir, ako yun, di ba? Ito nga nasa 105. Kasama siya sa top.
Humble na. At least kasama. Tingin ko wala na sila malagay na mail eh. Kasi 4th year na nila yun. Ano na ako doon? Placeholder. Okay naman? Mic check. Okay.
Ayun, sir. Balita ko po YouTube vlogging din.
Ah.
So, bukod po dun mas experience sa pagiging vlog, paano niyo po binabalance yung pagiging, alam naman po natin yung vlog medyo opinionated, and at the same time, doon naman po sa profession, dun sa career mo, kailangan nating battle.
Yeah.
So how do you handle po yung
Well, my style of writing now is a bit complicated. I use it as stress release. I use it to tell stories, my stories behind the scenes or beyond the newsroom. Ngayon, I know that I can't really be stating my opinions lalo online. What I do is when I write a story, I just narrate facts as it happens, and then I don't give my opinions. I lay down the facts so that people can decide what they want to believe. I just put it out there. For example, my last trending article was about the murder of the sister of Maritoni Fernandez. Yeah. So I covered it. So I laid out the facts of the case, who she is, saan siya nahanap, and what it could possibly mean. And I usually write with facts, and then I leave out my opinions.
Sir, ang nabalita ko kung tama po yung pagka kayo yung founder ng Sub-Selfie. Paano po nagsimula yung
Ang Sub-Selfie ay produkto lang katamaran ko actually. Katamaran ko. Kasi I was maintaining my own blog. And there will come a time na wala ka na may susulat about yourself. Kaya parang it's nakaka-bore din writing about yourself all the time. So what I did, I have friends in GMA, in our newsroom na ang gagaling magsulat lahat. So we are around 7 or we are 9 lahat. I told them na let's just do a group blog. Kung wala kang masulat, so yung iba naman yung magsusulat. So we did that. I gathered them. We made a blog, tas meron kaming susulat mo na siya, then ako, tas ganyan. So at least paiba-iba yung topics. And then we also invite guest writers para paiba-iba yung mga topics, perspectives. So we've been doing it since 2014, and the site now has around 750,000 views all in all. So we'd like to think na we have a following already, and we usually we state clearly, we have editorials na stand ng grupo, opinionated yun. We state that, and then we have may mga fun, may mga light stories lang din, may mga para pag sulat namin, we say na yun sa amin galing yun. May about the author siguro.
Okay lang po sir, na medyo first.
Okay.
Sir, aside from dito po sa news, sa research din po, kasi namin na isa rin po yung band vocalist back. Bali, parang paano po yung from sa nagbaband, napunta po sa ganyan?
Actually, yun talaga naman. Actually, anniversary ng band ako today. Today.
Anniversary.
Na 13 years na siya kasi college band ko siya. And actually, no parking. So, I wanted talaga after graduation, I wanted to just be, focus on the band. Ayoko mag-work sa news kasi wala akong sariling time for myself. And it didn't work out that way. I ended up in news. Kasi kasi if there's an opportunity presented before me, tinawagan kasi ako na HR ng GMA. So, I didn't turn it down. I tried it. I ended up here. Hindi ko initially plano mag-reporter. While I was there, while I was a researcher, producer, parang there were opportunities lang na if you do something good, then another opportunity will come. You do it again, another opportunity will come. It was a series of that until dumating sa point na naging reporter ako. So, yung band naman, sadly, we are not that active anymore. Nagba-basketball na lang kami ng mga bandmates ko, hindi na kami nagbabanda. Pero dito sa UE kasi I have musically gifted students. Sometimes meron silang events and nakapag-perform ako last September, and mga ganun-ganun na lang, para stress relief na lang siya. Kasi yung news occupies most of my time.
Bali mga estudyante.
Alam mga students kayo man.
Ano pong majors para sa inyo?
ICT. Do you have ICT? May ICT ba kayo? Information Communication Technology. Sa college. Tapos merong multimedia journal. As intro to film. Tapos yeah, yun na.
Sa UP,
Journalism basics na.
sa UP lang po ba kayo?
Dito lang. Mas malapit lang sa bahay. Diyan lang ako sa may monument.
Nakakasama sa market.
Layo nyo eh.
Pero sir, yun lang.
Mga sir.
Doon ako natutulog sa may City Hall. Pag wala nangyayari. Doon. Tapos ikot kami sa Mandaluyong after. Roving lang kami.
Sir, aside po sa reporting at the semester po, ano po yung pinagkakaabalahan niyo?
Ay, for physical activity, I play basketball. Yung college, I was part of yung varsity ng MASCOM. Ano naman, I usually play shooting guard. So, I like to shoot a lot of threes. Tapos, yun lang naman. Tapos, I write. Stress relief. And basically, that's everything. I usually play games on my phone. NBA lang. Kasi you can't always go all out. You still burn out. And when you're tired, you need to find ways to ease up. Wala ba? My check.
Sir, ay bagong last question. Pwede mag-OJT state?
Sa GMA. Ano nga yun, isa nga hindi ko nga napagbigyan itong mga pwede kayo mag-submit na ng resume as early as now. Kasi binabudget ng GMA yung internship nila. Sabi last summer, parang 7 lang sa mga students ko yung nakapasok. Tapos 7 from PUP, 7 from other schools. So dapat prepare nyo. Try na, prepare nyo na yung resumes.
May particular school ba sir na
School discrimination.
may topic?
Inaano nila, binabudget nila yung slots para walang ganong mga issue.
Last question. Sir, what makes you different?
Me different, I don't think I'm different. Maybe I sometimes I don't take myself too seriously. Maybe that's why. I sometimes step out of things and I consider flexible options then. Not that stiff. Tapos I don't know. I can't tell. It's not a conscious effort naman to be different. I don't know.
Sir, dahil daw hindi mo ko na-identify yung sarili mo. Saan ka daw nag-i-stop? Saan mo pagmamalaki na ikaw sa ibang malaki?
Saan ka po namin sa bawat Alegre-Full?
Ah.
Parang ganun sir.
I don't know. Well, no, I just, Scarborough Shoal is special to me. Kasi ako lang yung nakarating doon from GMA. It's 20 hours to go there. And then we stayed there for 3 days. And I'd like to share then, because of Scarborough Shoal, they promoted me, they will promote me na this week into a senior reporter. So yeah. So bali, that's it. Before the graveyard ako, I was in sauna. Meron kami laging graded recitation ni Ma'am Jess. So people, you would always see me then may question and answer with Ma'am Jess. And I usually had these graphics when I would do my stand-uppers. Na parang I pull them out of thin air. I pull graphics out of the TV screen and then pull it out. Ayun. I usually do that nung pang-araw ako. Kasi sa gabi kasi hindi siya magawa eh. Kasi wala masyadong graphic artists. Pero sa hapon, yan, it's a graphic lang naman na kunyari hilahin ko. Tapos pagagalawin mo lang sa screen in sync with my hand. So, it seems like it's moving when I pull things in there. Yan.
Sir, how do you see yourself years from now?
Well, I can see myself growing old in GMA. If there are opportunities abroad, maybe I'll consider it. Pero I would prefer to work here in the Philippines. I think we need journalists now. more than ever. There's too much noise in the internet. There's too much misinformation out there. We need people to, not only me, we need more journalists in the future na will double check information, facts. I'd like to teach more students to love journalism, yung discipline. And to just gusto ko yun yung mag-share ko kasi the more things are happening, the more alam mo, parang the less people know, the more dangerous their decisions become. So our job as journalists is to give them the information that is right, accurate, and make context. I mean, they understand what it means. So they have this information so they can make informed decisions on their own. Now, anyway, kung decision man nila na pro sila or anti, at least alam nila yung decision nila na tama, hindi yung dahil nabubulagan sila or dahil mali yung alam nila. So, yun lang naman. Yun ang goal ko in the future.
Sir, last na pala, pang-thesis na tanong. Sir,
Okay.
anong problema ngayon sa field, sa tinatawag na ito? Ano nakikita yung problema? Pinaka-problem.
Well, the journalism is not perfect. Marami ring rotten apples. Tapos, may ilan din, may mga corrupt din talaga. Na kailangan mismo hanay ng media ang magdisiplina. Kasi we can't be...
Sir, gano'ng kalala yung corruption?
Hindi naman gano'n. I can't personally say kung gaano kalala. I know there is. I don't know how much. And the problem is... Well, I experienced people trying to pay me, trying to give money after our coverage. Usually, I decline. Kasi it's prohibited sa aming ethics manual. And probably the problem is there's too much information now. Problem is there's too much information now. Basta.
Sir, padagdag na rin sa tanong nyo, paano nyo pinandan yung
Well, just say no politely lang. Ay, hindi pa pwedeng, bawal ko sabihin.
Sir, paano?
Just say no politely. Hindi po pwede yan. Sa inyo na lang. Ngiti-ngitian nyo na lang. Hindi po pwede kasi sa akin. Mawala kami ng work. Bawal kasi. Or kung sa amin, ang advice sa amin, pag di naman mapigilan, we should deposit that sa Kapuso Foundation. Kasi yung resibo ay send namin sa kanila. Sa nagbigay. Para may pinuntahan yung binigay niya.
Hindi naman kayo babalik.
Well, I don't know. Depende. We can't predict people. We can't predict people. So just do what you have to do. Salamat. Sino si Wendell sa inyo?